Well, Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has accused the BJP of creating new drama in the country on the issue of Varanasi's Gyanvapi Mosque. He also asserted that the party is trying to ruin the nation.
इनकी जो नीति है, कार्यक्रम में सिद्धांत हैं, वो देश को बर्बाद करने वाले हैं। देश को बर्बाद करने वाले हैं, देश में हिंसा फैलाने वाले हैं, देश में तनाव पैदा करने वाले हैं, भाई बहन को लड़ाने वाले हैं। रात दिन का फर्क है इनकी विचारधारा में, इनकी सोच के अंदर। क्या आप देख रहे हो, क्या तमाशे हो रहे हैं देश के अंदर। अब एक नया तमाशा शुरू कर देंगे वहाँ पर वाराणसी के अंदर। आप देख रहे हो टीवी के अंदर, सोशल मीडिया में शुरू हो रहा है। तो 100 जगह पर ऐसे स्थान होंगे जहाँ पर ये कंट्रोवर्सी पैदा करते हैं। तो कब तक आप हिंदू मुस्लिम को लड़ाते रहोगे देश के अंदर, जिनको सदियों से रहते हैं साथ में, और सदियों से साथ रहना है, सबको सदियों साथ रहना है। हमें अपनी बात कहने में हिचक नहीं होनी चाहिए।
Meanwhile, the BJP is hit back at the Congress Chief Minister of Rajasthan, saying that any recovery that has been made at the Masjid complex, why is it tamasha for the Congress party?
This is yet another instance of mocking Hindu Astha being done by the Congress party. On the one hand, the lower court and even the Supreme Court have asked for the site of the Shivling in Kashi Vishwanath to be sealed, to be protected. No stay has been put on a court order. The lower court had ordered the videography, after which a large amount of evidences were discovered. But despite the fact that all of this is taking place on the basis of a court order, the Congress party calls it a tamasha. Is Hindu Astha a tamasha for the Congress party? Is the court order or the court verdict a tamasha for the Congress party?
Madhav Das joins us live on the broadcast. Madhav, this is a statement that is going to snowball into a much bigger controversy, because this is not just a political tiff. This is a case that is in the court, and court has said that this area needs to be protected. Even the Supreme Court has said, yes, the survey must go on. And here we have Rajasthan Chief Minister making that statement.
Just staying on with us, Madhav, we have Vinod Bansal also with us on the phone line. Vinod Bansal जी, सीधे तौर पे कांग्रेस की तरफ से हमला आते हुए कह रहे हैं कि ये सब तमाशा कर रही है बीजेपी और कुछ नहीं।
देखिए, ये तो अशोक जी की खुद की मानसिकता पर प्रश्न चिन्ह वो खुद लगा रहे हैं। बीजेपी तमाशा कर रही है कि या इस बयान के माध्यम से कांग्रेस तमाशबीन बनना चाहती है, ये तो आपके श्रोता दर्शक अच्छी तरह जानते हैं। लेकिन जब जब सत्य का उद्घाटन हुआ, रहस्यों पर पर्दा हटा, जब भी सत्य का अन्वेषण हुआ, तब तक कांग्रेस बिलबिलाई। ये आज की बात नहीं है, ये तो पुरातन काल से चला आ रहा है। पिछले 60-70 वर्षों में यही हुआ है। हिंदुओं को दोयम दर्जे का नागरिक बनाना और मुस्लिम तुष्टीकरण की जो अंधी दौड़ में शामिल होना, ये कांग्रेस का चाल चरित्र चेहरा है। ये अशोक जी जिस तरह से हिंदुओं पर हमले हो रहे हैं लगातार राजस्थान के अंदर, एक के बाद एक हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जो है ना, जी हिंदू उत्पीड़न का शिकार है, वहां पर कुछ नहीं बोलते वो लोग। उस समय तो प्रधानमंत्री को कोसते हैं, और जब रहस्यों को उद्घाटन होता है, बाबा की प्राप्ति भक्तों को होती है, तब उनको कष्ट होने लग जाता है। अगर यही काम कहीं किसी मस्जिद के संदर्भ में होता, कुछ और होता, तो फिर इनको बड़ी खुशी होती जी। लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि चलो, इनको खुशी तो हो ही नहीं सकती, खैर कांग्रेस ही है ना, तो इसलिए मैं मानता हूं कि आप कम से कम कांग्रेस की जो
बीजेपी की तरफ से भी यही कहना है कि हम रिएक्शंस चला रहे हैं। विनोद बंसल जी वो सीधे तौर पे कह रहे हैं, क्या हिंदू आस्था उनके लिए एक तमाशा बन गई है क्या? ये सीधे तौर पे सवाल वो कांग्रेस के नेता अशोक गहलोत पे उठा रहे हैं। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। सो माधव, बैक टू यू ऑन दोज लाइव अपडेट्स, बिकॉज टुमारो वुड बी अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट डे एज द सर्वे रिपोर्ट दैट वाज ग्रांटेड एक्सटेंशन फ्रॉम द एडवोकेट कमिश्नर्स टीम वुड बी सबमिटेड।
Well, it is not just tomorrow, but today as well. There were hearings scheduled, but we are told that because of a lawyer strike, they may be deferred. Although I must tell you, the two matters that have been posted before the court are also of great significance. One is, of course, the entire issue of further excavation that has been pled by the petitioners, because they want that after a number of objects were found that showed remnants of temple, they are now demanding that a more extensive survey be carried out. So the court was supposed to take up that particular issue later in the day today as well, and also of course the larger issue of actually carrying out a wuzu in that area, given the fact that the ceiling had earlier been ordered, although with the court itself, the Supreme Court yesterday coming out and saying that the Shivling and its surrounding areas must be protected, but it should not in any way hinder as far as the namaz or the conduct of wuzu is concerned. So in that light, the DM had been instructed yesterday by the Supreme Court to look into these aspects and then of course take appropriate measures to ensure that that aspect is maintained until the date of the next hearing, because Supreme Court also is all set to hear this matter on Thursday. So that is as far as this particular matter is concerned. All eyes on the courts here today and whether they will take up these crucial aspects, because all of this will also have a bearing as far as the larger aspect is concerned. The plea of the petitioners, of course, was to get originally a survey done to allow for worship of Ma Shingar Gauri Shrine, which is just outside of the Gyanvapi Mosque or the Kashi Vishwanath Temple. But now, of course, with this aspect of an extended survey also being pled, what will the court's view be? Will it allow for such a survey even before the Advocate Commissioner's report is filed in the court, and that is expected tomorrow? All of these are going to be very important aspects that we're going to be watching out for.
Stay with us, Madhav. We have Gaurav Bhatia on the phone line with us. Now, we have, as the survey continues, Rajasthan Chief Minister saying that this is a new drama by the BJP. How do you respond to that?
What could you expect from a self-proclaimed Muslim party that hates the Hindus? Even when the Honorable Supreme Court directed yesterday to protect the area where Shivling has been found, we hear such obnoxious comments from Ashok Gehlot, which presumably are being made under the instructions from Sonia Gandhi. And let us understand that historical wrongs have to be corrected, and such statements are very irresponsible, and they hurt the sentiments of the Hindu community. And Mr. Ashok Gehlot should immediately apologize for the same.
All right. Gaurav Bhatia of the BJP, thanks very much for joining in with your point of view. Let's go back to our reporters there on ground, because this is a political tussle, Amir, that seems to be taking place. But if you can add to that and give little more clarity as far as today's case in the Varanasi court is concerned, seeking for an extension on the survey. Are these the same petitioners earlier who had asked for a survey?
Well, yes, absolutely. At least one of the applications that is before the civil judge court in Varanasi today pertains to the original petitioner, the 5 women who had demanded the right to pray at Gauri Shingar, image on the western outer wall of the Gyanvapi Mosque. And in fact, they have gone a step further and have demanded that the debris that was found underground and the wall that separates the mosque and the Kashi Vishwanath temple complex should be brought down, because their logic is that since a Shivling has been found out in the middle of the Wuzu Khana, and since the Nandi on the other side in the temple complex looks towards it, the established tradition does say that the Nandi always looks towards a Shiva idol or Shivling that has been that is usually established in such temples, and therefore the periphery wall of the Gyanvapi Mosque should be brought down. So that is one prayer. The other prayer pertains to an application, in fact a recall application that has been filed by the district government council here in Varanasi, which pertains to the restrictions that were put by the civil judge court day before yesterday on the Wuzu Khana area in terms of restricting the entry of Muslim community members who approached the temple, the mosque complex for offering prayers. So that application does seem to have become infectious because the Supreme Court had yesterday dealt with this subject, and in fact they have allowed namazis access to the Wuzu Khana area, and it will not per se be sealed. In fact, the district administration and the police has been asked to ensure that there is full security to the structure that is being claimed by the Hindu side as that of a Shivling, while the Muslim side still persists and says that it is only a piece of a fountain, a spout that worked till about 10 years back. but is dysfunctional as of now. So these two applications are before the local civil judge court, which we believe that will be heard at about 11 a.m. or so.
Okay, all right. But Madhav, this is also partial victory for the Masjid committee as well, because one, the prayers are going to continue, and second, they asked for the dismissal of the Advocate Commissioner, who they said was biased. The Advocate Commissioner has also now been removed.
Well, of course, for the Masjid side, certainly, of course, it is a very, very important decision, because earlier during hearings itself, they had objected to the appointment of Ajay Mishra. Now, of course, the court agreeing and, in fact, removing Ajay Mishra with the pleas coming in, with the arguments coming in that there was leak of information from several members of his team, and therefore, in fact, there's a wrong information or some kind of wrong information is coming out of the public domain, is the allegation that was faced by Mr. Ajay Mishra. Therefore, the court felt that it was required to remove Ajay Mishra. But nevertheless, the work that has been carried out as far as documenting through video, through images, what has transpired inside during the course of the 3-day survey, that report, in fact, will be submitted tomorrow with the other Advocate Commissioner, Vishal Singh. So it's very important to see what finally the finding of this Advocate Commissioner is, because it is not just any other lawyer's report. It is a lawyer who is really, of course, is functioning as the eyes and ears of the court by going out there, conducting this particular commission or survey, and then will submit the report. So what is contained in that report tomorrow will certainly be of huge importance as far as this entire case is concerned. What also, of course, would make it important is that the Supreme Court is also going to hear this matter on Thursday, and they have issued notice, as we know, yesterday to all of the parties concerned, 5 of the parties, including the Kashi
Absolutely.
Vishwanath Trust
And what
itself.
is more important to be noted, that the Supreme Court did not order a stay on the proceedings as it was being asked by the Masjid side. Because stay on with us, Amir and Madhav, as all eyes, summing up what they have been telling us, are on the Varanasi Civil Court, where the Gyanvapi case shall be heard yet again. The petitioners there has what have been asking, demanding in the application that the Varanasi Civil Court should order that the eastern wall from where the Shivling was found, the alleged structure that they call as a Shivling at the northern wall in front of Nandi's face, should be cleared by removing or breaking the debris. Meanwhile, the Muslim side has also filed an objection on the same.
Well, the Varanasi court on Tuesday also removed the Advocate Commissioner, as we've been reporting, who was in charge of the survey of the Gyanvapi Mosque complex, over allegations that he leaked the details of the controversial process and granted the panel 2 days for submitting the final report of the exercise.
हम लोगों ने आज याचिका दायर की है कि जो हम लोग के शिवलिंग मिले हैं वो जो है कि उसमें बहुत मलबा है, और उन लोगों ने वहाँ पे क्या बोलते हैं जहाँ पे वो लोग करते हैं, वो वहाँ पे हम लोगों ने करने के लिए मना किया है। वहाँ मछलियाँ हैं, वो रहे वो जीव है, लेकिन वहाँ पे वजू नहीं करना है।
बाबा मिले और बाबा के बिना शक्ति अधूरी है, शक्ति के बिना बाबा अधूरे हैं। तो दोनों
बाबा को लेकर भी,
क्योंकि माँ का पूरा परिवार है। अगर एक घर बनता है, एक परिवार बनता तो उसका पूरा परिवार होता है। साक्षात सारे पूरे परिवार निकलता चला जा रहा है। वहाँ पे हम लोग को रोक लगा दी कि यहाँ पे महिला नहीं आ सकती हैं, नहीं आ सकती हैं। जो ये लोग वजूम करते हैं वो नहीं होना चाहिए। वहाँ पे हमारी बाबा की हिफाजत होनी चाहिए।
All right. So, Madhav, if you can just sum up exactly what happened in the Supreme Court, because we've talked about the Muslim side, but the prayer that they were leading in the Supreme Court, saying that they wanted an entire stay in the proceedings and it is an attempt to disrupt peace and communal harmony, was not taken up by the court.
Well, one very important aspect is, as you were mentioning a short while earlier, is that the Muslim side had sought for a complete stay on the proceedings, saying it's all in violation of the Places of Worship Act. And that plea was repeatedly made by Huzaifa Abdi, who is in fact a petitioner's lawyer in this particular case. But that plea, at least at the first hearing stage itself is concerned, was not accepted by the judges in this entire matter. They had said that they cannot stay the proceedings in the Varanasi court. And that certainly has come as a huge shot in the arm for the Hindu side, who believe that there is a very strong case to be made, given that they have said that even the Places of Worship Act has its own exceptions, which talks about the religious character of a place of worship on the in the year 1947 as per the Act. So they say that just because one may place an idol in a mosque, that does not make it a temple, and similarly if there is a temple and people start performing namaz, that does not make it a mosque. That is the argument coming in, at least from the Hindu side. So they will of course have to go a lot of steps further in terms of establishing that this was indeed a temple, and if they are able to do that, it still remains to be seen what's the final view that the court takes as far as this matter is concerned. But the court has very clearly done a very important balancing act by its own words and its own admission. It has taken into consideration the pleas of both the Hindu side and the Muslim side. The Hindu side of course had demanded that the Shivling be protected, that it's an important piece of evidence they believe, and therefore the court had ordered the DM to ensure the area surrounding the Shivling is protected and is preserved. At the same time, they have said that this in itself should not prevent the Muslim side or the believers from performing namaz or wuzu in any particular way, and that should not be hindered. So all of that has been told to the DM. What the DM does on ground now of course remains to be seen, given that there are several hearings that are underway. The area of course continues to remain sealed, but what will the DM do today is going to be something very important to watch out for at that particular location. Point number two. Point number three is that as far as the court itself is concerned, it is now going to hear all of these matters on Thursday. It has issued notice to all of the respondents, the petitioners, as well as the Kashi Vishwanath Trust, and of course the other side as well. It remains to be seen now what the responses and pleas are that come up before the Supreme Court, and how the case is further goes on from here, because both at the level of the trial court as well as the Supreme Court, there are proceedings underway. Some of those orders of the Supreme Court also will impact on the cases and pleas that have been filed in the trial court over here in Varanasi. So we'll have to see how all of this really pans out in the next few days.